Oh, there's a little slug on my mat. Good morning, little slug. I'm going to put over there. So coming to lay down on your mat, clearing any slugs off your mat if you need to. And coming down onto your back, feel free to keep your knees bent or your feet on the floor. Or put a blanket under your head or your knees, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. And closing the eyes and tuning into that autumn energy of the plants sending their energy back down to their roots. So focusing on the exhale here. And with each exhale, feel yourself melting, sinking to the earth, reconnecting with roots, reconnecting with ground. A couple more breaths here, just really elongating the exhale and seeing what you notice. And beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes, re-energizing the body, rolling the hands and feet around in little circles, and going back the other way. And bringing the body back to stillness, arms by the side. Inhale, reach the arms in a big arc up to the sky and over your head on the floor. And exhale, float the arms back down by the side. Again, inhale, lifting up. Stretching long. Exhale, float the arms down by your sides. 2 more times. Nice, and then letting the arms rest by the sides. Take a breath, melting to the earth. And then bending one knee and then the other, placing your feet on the floor. And begin to drop the knees side to side. Both knees to the right, both knees to the left. Massaging out the low back and hips. And then bringing the knees back to center, hugging them in towards your chest, rocking a little side to side. And then bringing your hands to interlace behind your head. Elbows wide, pressing down into the floor. Feel your shoulders. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lift your right elbow, bring your left knee in and extend your right leg out long. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left elbow, left leg extends, right knee towards left elbow. Inhale, back to center. So we're going to move side to side here. Pulling the belly button in, pushing the low back into the floor. One more each side. Strong core. Strong breath. And then releasing the arms, hugging the knees into the chest. Placing the feet on the floor again. And let the knees fall side to side, relaxing the low back and hips again. And then bringing the knees back to center and walking the feet in. If you have something underneath your head, you may want to remove it for just a moment. We're going to do a little bridge pose. Pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up towards the sky, engaging the glutes, holding here. You're welcome to press your elbows into the floor, extending hands up, palms facing each other, or interlacing the hands behind the back, rolling the shoulders under and lifting the hips up tall. One more inhale, and exhale, releasing down. Bringing the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to either side. Passively letting the hips open, deep breaths into the low belly. And then we're going to give ourselves a little neck and shoulder massage here. So bringing your hands up and parting the fingers in between your ring finger and your middle finger. We're going to slide the ears in that little slot and then press in with your finger pads and slide the hands down the jaw and through the neck and down to the collarbone. Do that a few times as your hips passively open here, relaxing around the ears, around the jaw. Sliding down the sides of the neck, collarbone. Letting go of tension. Deepening self-care. One more time with your hands. So we're coming into Vata season, which is dominated by air and ether, and it's a time when we can get a little ungrounded. So it's great to focus on grounding practices, self-care, releasing the arms down, scooping the knees up, hugging them into your chest, and begin to move your knees around in separate circles so they come together and out, away from each other, and around and back in. And going back the other way, reversing the direction. And then bringing the knees back together, hugging them in, bringing the arms out to T, and then let both knees drop over to the right. You can bring the right hand to the left knee or thigh, stretching out from the left arm, coming into a deeper twist here. Taking some deep breaths. Let's take 2 letting go breaths. With your next inhale, unwind. Come back to center, realigning the spine. And then bringing the arms back out to T. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, drop both your knees to the left, bringing the left hand to the right knee or thigh and stretching the right arm out from the shoulder. Deep breaths here, feeling the exhale invite you to connect with the earth beneath you. And let's take 2 letting go breaths here. With your next inhale, unwind. Come back to center, realigning your spine, hugging your knees into your chest. And you can either rock over to one side and press yourself up, or hold on behind your thighs and rock and roll back and forth along your spine. A little massage here. And eventually coming up to find a seat. So sitting up on the edge of your blanket, sitting cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. If not, feel free to stretch one or both legs out in front of you. And once you've found your seat, close your eyes, reconnecting with your breath now that your spine is no longer supported by the floor. See if you can find that ease and expansion in the breath. Bringing your hands to your heart center here. Take an inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands, press them away from you, rounding your spine. Inhale, arms up, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, wrist circles, float your arms out and down. Interlacing the hands behind the back, rolling the shoulders. Inhale, lift, arms, heart, and gaze. 2 deep breaths after you exhale. And with your last exhale, releasing down, hands come back to the heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, interlace the hands, press them away from you, rounding your spine. Inhale, arms up, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, wrist circles, float your arms out and down. Interlacing your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulders. Inhale, lift, arms, heart, and gaze. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, keep your hands engaged, and bring your hands over to the right side of your waist, tucking them in there, dropping shoulders down the back. And it's fine if you can't quite reach your waist. You can still have your hands moving over towards that side of your body. Inhale, lifting tall through the crown of your head. Exhale, dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder without lifting the ear. Without lifting the shoulder, drop the ear. So ear is reaching for the shoulder. Shoulder is not reaching for the ear. It's not a reciprocal relationship. So here you can tilt the head a little bit forward and a little bit back. Feeling into all those little muscles on the side of the neck, top of the shoulder. Letting go of tension as you breathe. And finding one place where there's a lot of sensation. And staying there for a couple letting go breaths. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. And then release. Noticing head comes back to center. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back behind you. Keep them engaged. Inhale, lift the arms, heart, and gaze. Notice the difference in the sides of your neck, shoulders. Exhale, release. Hands come forward and walking out in front of you, stretching low back and hips. With your next inhale, walking your hands back in, and let's switch the cross of the legs. If they are crossed, bringing your hands back to your heart. Take an inhale here. Exhale, interlace the hands, press them away from you, rounding your spine. Inhale, arms up, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, wrist circles, float your arms out and down. Interlacing your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders. Inhale, lift your arms, heart and gaze. Exhale here and take 2 more breaths. And with your last exhale, releasing the arms, hands come back to the heart. Take an inhale here. Exhale, interlace the hands, press them away from you, rounding your spine. Inhale, arms up, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, wrist circles, float your arms out and down. Interlacing your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders. Inhale, lift, arms, heart, and gaze. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, bring the hands over to the left side of the waist, dropping the shoulders down the back. Take an inhale here. Exhale, drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Shoulder does not reach to the ear. Nice stretch through the right side of the neck, top of the shoulder, and if you'd like, you can tilt the head a little forward. And a little bit back, just feeling in to all the little muscles, moving really slow. Noticing. You can notice where we've landed at the end of this interesting summer that we've had. Gathering the lessons, tuning into exactly where we are right now. Noticing the results, the fruits of our labor, the harvest, finding a spot where there's a lot of sensation, and taking 2 letting go breaths. And then gently, slowly bringing the head back to center. Inhale. Exhale, bring the arms back behind you. Keep the hands clasped. Inhale, lift, arms, heart, and gaze. Exhale, release. Hands in front of you, walking out. Stretching from the low back and hips. And with your next inhale, coming back up. And from here, we'll come to hands and knees, putting your blanket underneath your knees, because we're going to need it there in just a little bit. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, or a little bit wider. Tabletop pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, round the spine, gazing towards the belly button. Inhale, tilt the pelvis, let the motion slide up the spine, belly drops, head lifts. Exhale, rounding back. Couple more breaths here. And the next time you come to a cow pose, curl your toes under, press back to a down dog, dropping your heels towards the floor, melting your heart, stretching through the backs of the legs. With your next inhale, pull forward to a plank pose. Top of a push-up, you can drop your knees if you'd like. Holding here for 2 breaths. Really puffing up through the back of your heart. And then exhale, lowering all the way down to the floor. Elbows in, shoulders back. Inhale up, baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale up, baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale, press back through hands and knees to a child's pose. And with your next inhale, dragging your hands in towards your legs, coming to sit up on your heels. We're going to curl the toes under, tucking them underneath and sitting back on the heels. If this is too tender for you, you're welcome to be up on the knees. So you can choose where you want to be there. Either sitting back on your heels, toes curled under, or up in a high kneeling pose. We're going to do a little awakening breath work. So we're going to inhale, lifting the arms up, exhale, pulling the arms down, and then crossing the arms in front of us out. So exhale down, and inhale across, exhale out. So you can switch the cross of your arms as you go. So it looks and sounds like this, and you can speed up or slow down. Two more rounds. Inhale up, hold the breath in. Exhale, coming forward, uncurling the toes, tapping them out on the floor. Take an inhale here. Exhale, round the spine. Cat pose, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Curl the toes under, press back to a down dog. Dropping the heels, pressing the heart back. Deep breaths here. With your next inhale, pulling forward to a plank pose. Feel free to drop your knees. Holding here, 2 breaths. Puffing up between your shoulder blades, strong core. And with your next exhale, lowering all the way down to the floor. Inhale up, baby cobra, or maybe a little bit higher, keeping those elbows in. Exhale down. Working those triceps, backs of the arms. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale down. Inhale, press back through hands and knees to a child's pose. Softening here. And with your next inhale, dragging your hands back in towards your knees, sitting on your heels. So this time, we're not going to tuck the toes under, but you can, again, decide if you want to be sitting on your heels or kneeling above your, or balanced above your knees. So we're going to do our little breath work again. You might try going faster or slower and see how it feels. 2 more. Inhale, hold the breath in. Exhale, coming forward, curling the toes under, pressing back to a down dog. This time bending your knees, one at a time. And then walking your feet as wide as your mat, so they're wider than your hips, bending the knees deeply, sending the sit bones back behind you, and look up past your hands, bend your elbows slightly, crouching cat. Really elongate the tailbone back behind you as you reach forward with your gaze. Bend the knees a little deeper, squat a little lower. With your next inhale, see if you can pounce towards the top of your mat. And exhale, hang in a forward fold. Good job. Shake your head around. Yes, yes, yes. And no, no, no. And with your next exhale, we're going to sink the hips down towards the floor. You can pause in any version of a squat if you'd like. And then we're going to make our way down onto our backs. You can move your blanket out of the way. And hugging your knees into your chest, rocking a little side to side here. Placing the feet on the floor, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up slightly, scooting them a couple inches over to the right, laying them back down. Extend the left leg long. Inhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Holding onto it with the left hand, and as you exhale, guide the right knee over to the left, coming into a twist. Stretching the right arm out to T, getting a nice expansion across the body. Again, connecting with the exhale, allowing you to melt. Breath flowing through the twist. Two letting go breaths. With your next inhale, unwind. Come back to center, realigning the spine. Take a breath here. And lifting the hips up. Scooting them a couple inches over to the left, laying them back down. Extend the right leg long. Inhale, bring the left knee in, holding onto it with the right arm. And as you exhale, guide the knee over to the right, stretching the left arm out from the shoulder. Deep breaths here, letting go of anything you can. Body, mind, spirit. Let's take two letting go breaths. Coming back to center, realigning the spine, hugging the knees into the chest, let the knees come away from each other. Reach through the inside of the knees, grab onto the outside of the feet or the ankles for happy baby pose. You can rock a little side to side here if you'd like. If there's any final poses you would like to find before coming to Shavasana, feel free. Otherwise, stretching out long on your back. Perhaps a blanket under your knees or your head. Closing your eyes. Feeling the light of the beginning of autumn shining on you. Encouraging you to rest a little bit, to reflect a little bit, to appreciate the fruits of your labor. Sinking into stillness, letting go of all effort. Allowing yourself to simply be. Bringing your awareness back to the surface of your body. Begin to deepen your breath and wiggle your fingers and toes. As you're ready, bend one knee and then the other, placing your feet on the floor. And come to rest over on your right side. Taking a breath here and keeping your eyes closed and your attention internal. Gently press your way up to find a seat. And sitting with your eyes closed, allow these words by W.S. Merwin to wash over you. This is a poem shared with me by Mary McGulick. This is called To the Light of September. When you are already here, you appear to be only a name that tells of you, whether you are present or not. And for now, it seems as though you are still summer, still the high, familiar, endless summer, yet with a glint of bronze in the chill mornings and the late yellow petals of the mullein fluttering on the stalks that lean over their broken shadows across the cracked ground. But they all know that you have come, the seed heads of the sage, the whispering birds, with nowhere to hide you, to keep you for later. You who fly with them, you who are neither before nor after, you who arrive with blue plums that have fallen through the night, perfect in the dew. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart, pressing your thumbs in to feel your heartbeat, your personal pulse. Take a deep breath of gratitude, sending that gratitude from your heart out to all the cells in your being. We move through the seasons, gathering the wisdom that they each have to share. I thank you all for joining me for practice. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.